We all want to be entertained. That's why good movies have mass appeal, and top actors can pull in a massive amount of money. Acting is one of the most ruthlessly competitive industries in the world. But once you make it big, you can make buku bucks. Here are the top 10 richest actors in the world. Number 10. Jack Nicholson. One of the most celebrated actors of his generation, and one of the most award-nominated actors in history, Jack Nicholson has a net worth of $400 million. Nicholson moved to Hollywood at the age of 17. His first job was working as an assistant in Hanna-Barbera's animation department. He initially considered becoming an animator, but soon decided to become an actor. Throughout his career, Nicholson has been featured in over 60 films and has been nominated 12 times for an Academy Award, which is a record for a male actor. Nicholson won the Oscar twice, once for As Good as It Gets, and another time for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Nicholson's net worth includes approximately $100 million in real estate, as well as a $150 million art collection. Jack may have played the Joker in Tim Burton's 1989 version of Batman, but this phenomenal fortune is nothing to laugh about. Number 9. Amitabh Bachchan. This bombastic Bollywood icon, who first gained notoriety in the 1970s as Bollywood's angry young man, has a net worth of $440 million. With a career that has spanned over 5 decades, Bachchan has appeared in over 200 films, and is widely believed to be one of the top actors in the history of Indian cinema. He also made an appearance alongside Leonardo DiCaprio in Hollywood's hit movie version of F. Scott Fitzgerald's book, The Great Gatsby. Number 8. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Born in a small village in Austria, the Terminator and Governator, who is a 6-time Mr. Olympia bodybuilding champion, has bulked up his net worth to the tune of $450 million. At the peak of his career, Arnold was raking in $20 to $30 million per film. This legendary action star actually became a millionaire at the age of 25 from his real estate investments before he ever even became a star. He wisely saved all his winnings from bodybuilding competitions and invested the funds into apartment complexes, trading up to larger and larger properties after each sale. Today, his real estate portfolio alone is worth in excess of $100 million. Arnold first began to get traction in Hollywood during the early 80s, playing Conan in Conan the Barbarian. But his big breakthrough was playing the Terminator in James Cameron's 1984 smashing box office success. Schwarzenegger followed that up with Running Man, Commando, Predator, Total Recall, and Twins. Even though he ultimately left acting to become the governor of California, he still earned over $400 million in salary alone. That kind of cash easily makes Schwarzenegger one of the richest actors in the world. Number 7. Mel Gibson. One of Hollywood's most successful and most controversial figures, Mel Gibson has an astonishing net worth of $470 million. His first significant roles were working in the Mad Max series right after he finished college in the late 70s. He became a Hollywood star in 1987, playing the role of Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon. Gibson was soon starring in blockbuster after blockbuster, including Maverick, Braveheart, Ransom, The Patriot, and What Women Want. Gibson, who founded Icon Productions, has also successfully directed and produced a number of films, including Apocalypto and The Passion of the Christ, which brought in over $612 million worldwide. And get this, Gibson's fortune used to be twice what it is today, approximately $850 million. But in 2009, his wife Robin Moore filed for divorce. The $425 million divorce settlement is the highest in the history of Hollywood. But with a net worth still close to $500 million, we think Mel will find a way to survive. Number 6. Adam Sandler. Comedy has to be one of the hardest areas of Hollywood to hit a home run. But this funny guy has managed to hit a grand slam, building a full-fledged fortune of $480 million. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Sandler first came onto the scene making small cameo appearances in The Cosby Show and the MTV show Remote Control. After graduating college, Sandler toured the country performing stand-up, and he eventually caught the attention of Dennis Miller, who helped land him a job as a writer and actor on Saturday Night Live. That was the big break Sandler needed, and he soon achieved fame for a variety of comedic characters he portrayed. He went on to appear in the movies Coneheads and Airheads, and then his first starring role, Billy Madison, which was a huge hit. Sandler followed that up with many more box office successes, including Waterboy, The Wedding Singer, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, The Longest Yard, and 50 First Dates. The multi-talented comic also worked as a producer on many of these, which helped him pull in even bigger paydays. In June of 2022, appearing on The Jimmy Fallon Show, Sandler even cracked a joke about his massive wealth, saying that he always keeps his phone beside him on his bed so he can check his net worth before he goes to sleep. And who can blame him? That's sure to make anyone fall asleep with a smile on their face. Number 5. George Clooney. One of the most iconic actors of the past 25 years, George Clooney has an awe-inspiring net worth of $500 million. Born in Kentucky, Clooney ultimately made his way to LA to pursue a career in acting. His charm and good looks landed him minor roles on several television shows, including Roseanne, Golden Girls, and The Facts of Life. But his breakthrough came portraying Dr. Doug Ross on the show ER. This led to 2 Emmy Award nominations and 3 Golden Globe nominations for Best Actor. By the late 90s, George had arrived in a big way, but there were still big box office successes in store, including Ocean's 11 and Gravity. He has also earned another $40 million from appearing in commercials for Nespresso. In 2013, he co-founded the tequila brand Casamigos, which he later sold in 2017 for a whopping $1 billion, of which George pocketed over $200 million. One of the sexiest men alive according to People magazine, Clooney also has one of the sexiest fortunes of any actor alive. Number 4. Tom Cruise. A worldwide phenomenon who commands one of the highest salaries in Hollywood, Tom Cruise has a whopping net worth of $600 million. A former jock, Cruise developed an interest for acting in high school when a knee injury forced him off the wrestling team, and he soon won the lead role in his school's rendition of Guys and Dolls. Soon after he finished high school, Cruise was off to New York City and then LA to pursue a career in acting, soon landing small roles in the early 80s. His first bona fide hit came with Risky Business, where he played Joel Peterson, the high school senior who decides to open up a brothel while his parents are on vacation. The film grossed $63 million on a $6 million budget. From there, his career took off like an F-14 Tomcat, and in 1986, Cruise landed the role that made him larger than life, playing Pete Mitchell in Top Gun. On a budget of $15 million, Top Gun grossed over $350 million, and was 1986's highest-grossing movie. And Cruise was just getting started, with many other big hits to come, including Cocktail, Rain Man, The Color of Money, Interview with a Vampire, and A Few Good Men. In 1996, Cruise both starred in and produced Mission Impossible, which grossed over $450 million worldwide. Then there was Jerry Maguire, which grossed another $275 million on a $50 million budget. There are so many hits it's hard to keep track, but some of the others include Vanilla Sky, Minority Report, The Last Samurai, War of the Worlds, Jack Reacher, and 2 more Mission Impossible movies. But Cruise's highest-grossing movie happened in 2022, with the follow-up to Top Gun, more than 35 years later. The sequel, Top Gun: Maverick, has already grossed over $1 billion worldwide, of which Cruise has taken home over $100 million. Number 3. Shah Rukh Khan. Known as the King of Bollywood, this famous Indian actor and film producer has an extraordinary net worth of $650 million. If you live in the Western Hemisphere, you've probably never heard of him. In fact, the LA Times called Khan the biggest movie star you've never heard of, perhaps the world's biggest movie star. Despite his lack of notoriety in Hollywood, Khan still collects over $30 million for each and every film he stars in, and he's become one of the richest actors on the planet. Number 2. Tyler Perry. This famous actor, writer, director, and producer has an incredible net worth of $900 million. Perry, who was born in New Orleans, was abused by several family members during his childhood. He soon turned to writing as an outlet to escape the pain. This proved to be a blessing, as Perry ultimately wrote several hit musicals and plays, including I Know I've Been Changed. In fact, before filming a single movie in Hollywood, Perry had sold over $100 million worth of tickets to his plays. Perry's first film production was Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which grossed over $200 million. Then came Medea's Family Reunion, which grossed another $65 million. Perry followed this up with 13 Medea installments, and those films have grossed a total of over $700 million. Perry has also seen some serious success with his television shows, including Tyler Perry's House of Pain and Meet the Browns. And yes, Perry is also an actor, having appeared in several movies, including Star Trek, Alex Cross, Gone Girl, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Vice. In 2006, Perry founded the Atlanta-based film production studio, Tyler Perry Studios, which is one of the largest studios in the world. It has been reported that large companies like Amazon and Netflix pay upwards of $100 million per year to rent the facilities in order to film and produce their own productions. Hats off to Mr. Perry. He's one remarkable entertainment entrepreneur. Number 1. Jerry Seinfeld. This iconic comic, who was the star of his own long-running namesake sitcom, has a gargantuan net worth of $950 million. While attending Queens College in New York, Seinfeld developed an interest in comedy and was soon hitting open mic nights every chance he got. But it took close to 15 years of paying his dues as a stand-up comedian before he would ever star in his own television show. His big opportunity came when he appeared on The Johnny Carson Show in 1981. This led to many other appearances on similar programs, including Late Night with David Letterman, where he began to gain comedic notoriety. In 1989, Seinfeld partnered with Larry David, who formerly wrote for Saturday Night Live, to create a pilot, which was initially called The Seinfeld Chronicles. Their pitch was a success, and Seinfeld earned $100,000 for the 5-episode first season. By season 4, Seinfeld was pulling in $100,000 per episode, and by season 7, the amount ballooned to $500,000 per episode. For season 9, that doubled, netting Jerry $1 million per episode. But here's the kicker. When David and Seinfeld first negotiated their deal with NBC, they secured an ownership interest in the show, including a portion of the profits generated by syndication. In any given year, they still earned $40 to $50 million in royalties. In fact, the only reason Larry David came just shy of making this top 10 list is because he lost half of his fortune after he divorced in 2007. Nevertheless, Seinfeld is the show that keeps on giving, both for viewers around the world who continue to enjoy it, as well as its comedic creators, who continue to cash in big time, especially Jerry, who went from a traveling stand-up comic to becoming the richest actor in the world. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe to our channel. Seriously, make sure to click that red button right now so that you don't miss out on any new and exclusive Top 10 content.